the historic verbal duel and super show, American politics. How will the first round of debates in the USA go, and what will the coin decide? Let's examine all the political elements and put them in place. This is the Mendeleev table. Let's figure it out together. The most anticipated event of the U.S. election campaign, falling ratings forced Biden to agree to debates with Trump. Therefore, preparations for the first round of debates are in full swing. The rematch will take place on June 27th. A promo video has appeared online.
Biden, the bulletin will decide the fate of democracy and the question of your freedoms. For us, nothing is impossible. We will restore America's former glory.
Despite the number of people wanting to watch the clash of the donkey and the elephant, for the first time in half a century, there will be no audience. As noted by American media, the Democrats' campaign team supported this format, fearing that Trump's supporters would be too enthusiastic and disrupt the discussion. The 45th President of the USA and the current White House leader will meet in an empty studio and express their positions for an hour and a half with 2 commercial breaks.
Both candidates agreed to speak from podiums. Their positions will be determined by a coin toss. During the debates, all microphones will be turned off, except for the candidate's microphone whose turn it is to speak.
The stakes are higher than ever. An important clarification: candidates are prohibited from bringing pre-prepared texts and communicating with assistants. They will have to manage without cheat sheets. The public is already accustomed to the verbal blunders, falls, and imaginary friends of Sleepy Joe, and all this will clearly not play in his favor. The same cannot be said for Trump, for whom any gaffes by his elderly opponent are advantageous. Moreover, the blonde scandalist fears that Biden will be pumped with stimulants before the debates, so he promised to demand drug tests.
I just want to debate this guy, but I will insist on a drug test for that.
Both teams are trying hard to sway the undecided electorate to their side. The legal cases are worth mentioning. Trump was found guilty of document falsification, and the president's son, Hunter, was found guilty of firearm violations. In the war of compromise, Biden's campaign is ready to spend $50 million to discredit the Republican opponent. Political technologists are making commissioned commercials. The focus is on the former president being a criminal, fraudster, and rapist. In the cradle of democracy, freedom of speech is under strict control, and the music is ordered by the ones sitting in the White House. Therefore, Trump supporters are being actively purged from the FBI.
And another piece of evidence was provided by an FBI whistleblower. According to documents he handed over to John Solomon of Just the News, the FBI is now conducting internal checks for political correctness. In his case, to decide on his access to classified information after 12 years in the Bureau, the FBI checked whether he supported Trump's vaccination regime and the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. And when it was established that he supported all these things, which at least half the country supports, he was denied access.
But despite the tarnished reputation in the courts, the Republican remains an influential politician. According to The Economist's statistical model, Biden's chances of winning the election are 1 in 3, while Trump's are 2 in 3.
We all want the return of peace and stability like under Trump, not the war and chaos of the last 4 years.
The U.S. presidential election is scheduled for November 5th, 2020-2024. And it is already clear that the Democrats' attempts to remove Trump from the race have failed. A very interesting and spectacular season is beginning in U.S. political life. The U.S. presidents will clash in a televised duel.